Hello, everybody. This is Attorney Sharp Raleigh, and we're going to talk about the hurdles of the visitor visa. Lately, a lot of people have been calling me. I did a video, by the way. I'll put the link probably on the top or on the bottom, however you call it, based on the visitor visa. But it was something that I did like 2 years ago, and it has not changed a lot, but things have changed because the administration in the US have changed. The visitor visa, also known as the B2 visa, or a combination of B1 business and B2 leisure or visitor visa or tourist visa, is what you usually get when you apply to come to the United States to basically perform some kind of come and visit, right? You want to visit San Francisco, New York, you name it, beautiful places here in America, the Grand Canyon, that's what you use. But unfortunately, a lot of people have taken advantage of that. And now we are seeing a crackdown on those visitor visas. The hurdles that people are facing, there are many factors. Number one, the country where you're getting the visa. For example, countries like India, China, and some other countries, it is very difficult. Although a lot of visas are issued there, the chances of getting those visas are kind of difficult. However, there are many factors that account for that. For example, if you had a visitor visa before you have never violated that visitor visa, there's a chance you will get another visitor visa, or what we call the tourist visa. The big thing that they're looking at is called under the section of law called INA 214B, which basically in simple terms means that you have an immigrant intent unless you prove you don't have that intent. In simple terms, it means that they look at you as if you're going to come and not go back. You have to prove you have enough ties or enough reasons to go back to your home country. And that becomes kind of a little bit a big issue, because a lot of people, no matter what, they cannot prove that. Few of the things that can be used to prove that is if you have a job. For example, let's say you have a good job and they're giving you a vacation for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and you're coming here, and that will be one factor. You have your family, your wife, your husband, your children in the home country. That also is a good factor to prove that you have ties to your country. You have properties. You own properties. You have rental properties. You have a house. You have cars. You name it. That's also another factor. So whenever you go for those interviews, try to bring all this with you. And I frequently get the question, everybody asking me, hey, file the visitor visa for me. We don't really handle that because visitor visa, unfortunately, I always say that to people, that it's easier for me sometimes to get a green card than getting a visitor visa for someone. The only time we really intervene if you have a denial based on some kind of fraud, a 212 waiver and things like that. That's a different issue. Then it's good to have a lawyer aboard. So be careful, it's because many lawyers will try to sell you that they can get you a visitor visa, while visitor visas are very much a matter of luck and a matter of proving that you have ties to your home country. The other things also, of course, we have those videos basically of people trying to lie to get the visitor visa. So be very careful. Any kind of information you provide there can come back and harm you later when you're in the US. One of the things that the visitor visa allows, you can ultimately change it to another visa. For example, let's say you come on a B1, B2 visa, which is what we usually get when you apply for the tourist visa or visitor visa. You can shift it maybe to a student visa or H1B, etc. But there are two caveats here. Number one, for the student visa now, as from last year, you have to show that you maintain status up to 30 days of your I-20 starting. Because when you apply for a student visa, you get an I-20, you need to show that that you have 30 days before that starts, you have maintained status. And we have a problem because now a change of status, as we call it, from a visitor visa to a student F1 visa is taking almost 10 months to 11 months. That means you have to show that you maintain status up to that date to change the status. And unfortunately, most of the visitor visa maximum time they will give you is only 6 months. So what happens in those cases, you might have to file another extension, then you file for F1. That's kind of a little bit deviating from the video today, but this is just kind of to remind people that it's not that easy. The second thing that we is a problem also, now we have the rule of the 90 days, which is not a law, by the way, but an accepted thing with the State Department and the USCIS, that if you change status within 90 days, there's a presumption of fraud. So that means if you do an adjustment of status or a change of status, it becomes a problem. Be very careful. If you try to use a visitor visa, for example, to come and meet your fiancés here and get married, it can be a problem with fraud. So under the section of the law, under 212 fraud, if you lie or you try to change status and you have a preconceived kind of idea of using the visitor visa as a way to get in and then change status, you can get in trouble, not because of the green card, but for example, but because of the visitor visa itself. Although there are rules, we had a very good article on that, changing status from B1, B2, basically adjustment of status from B1, B2 to from B1, B2, and that basically says that there are exceptions to immediate relatives. But remember, the issue is usually that visitor visa. One of the things also, if for example, people will lie or forget. Let's say, for example, you have someone who says, hey, I'm married or I'm not married on the visitor visa, and they give you the visitor visa, and when you reach here, they find out you are married. It's a fraud. So all those factors are very, very important when you're filing for a visitor visa. Make sure you don't lie. For any visa, by the way, it's better to get a denial than to, when you reach here, you find yourself in a situation of fraud. And more now, things are getting strict. So you need to be very careful. There are many other factors that determine if you can get a visitor visa. But the main factor is to show ties to your home country and don't lie about your intentions. And that's where the secret is. But there's no secret, unfortunately. So the other thing I will recommend people, don't use those agents, because I know a lot of people will pay a lot of money to agents just to get a visitor visa, and those are dangerous. A lot of people were doing it back in the days when there were no computers, but once they find out that you did something like that, anything you file inside the United States at the later stage can be denied, unless probably an asylum, etc. But having said that, since we are limiting our video today on a visitor visa, these are the basic hurdles that you're facing now. And the bigger hurdle now is that you are faced with an administration which is very more strict. I should say that. It's been like that for a while, but it's getting tougher now to get a visitor visa. Having said that, people are still coming to the US, still coming to visit and doing things very genuinely. And for those, you should just not worry, because you're coming genuinely, you want to visit, and you go back, that's fine. But try not to abuse it in a way that you end up into custody or end up creating more problems for you and your family. So until then, I wish you good luck. If you need help on other visas, anything, green card, you name it, please feel free to call our office, 510-742-5887. And anything I'm telling today is my opinion. You should not act or refrain to act solely on the information provided. You should contact an attorney if you have any questions. Thank you.